feel frustrated when you say those comments to me because it makes me feel like I'm not a valued member of this team. Right? So what you're doing here is you're saying, this is the emotion behind this, this is the effect that it's had on me when you did that specific action, whether you said something, whether you didn't say something, you know, all these different things, because of this reason. Because, you know, this is the way I was brought up, or this is my career, or this is the education I have, or this is the experience that I had when, you know, that happened. I did a mediation once where it was a family situation, and they were coming in over, their daughter was turning 16, and mom really wanted daughter to get her driver's license, her beginner's license, and dad really wanted her not to get her driver's license. So they came in, and mom said, we really need to get her a driver's license because, you know, it'll be super helpful at home. She's going off to college soon, so she needs to get some experience before she's driving and different things like that. So as we kind of asked more open-ended questions and asked questions and asked questions and listened and listened and listened, it kind of came down to, well, you know, years ago we had an ATV and our daughter went on this ATV. She wasn't wearing a helmet or anything. She fell off. She broke her arm or collarbone or something like that. I can't remember what she broke. And so I want to make sure that our daughter is safe, and so that, you know, if we start her early, then we're not making that same mistake again, right? And we're giving her that experience. We're making sure that she's safe on the road, making sure that other people are safe on the road, doing different things like that. And then I sat down with Dad and said, so what's going on for you, Dad? And, you know, I'm really terrible with names, so I just call everyone Mom and Dad in mediations. It's kind of weird, but... so I sat down with Dad and said, so what's going on for you? And, you know, let's figure out why is it that you don't want your child to have her driver's license. And funny enough, he came and told this exact same story about, you know, she was younger, she went on an ATV, she fell off, she hurt her arm, and I don't think she should drive yet because she's you know, not secure enough to do this, she's not going to be safe. What do driver instructors really know anyways? You know, all these different things, right? About it's not safe for her to start driving now. She needs some more life experience before she can actually start driving. So she should wait till later on. So when we do that, I mean, we see this common interest, we see this common intent, right? Both people are intending to have this intent where they want their daughter to be safe and secure and, you know, not hurt herself again. They want to protect her. But if we don't have that conversation, then we'll never know that we're coming at this with the same ideas. We both want the same thing, right? But because of the intent that we're assuming or the effect that we're assuming, and without bringing that into the public, without using these, you know, I feel X when you Y because of this, without bringing that into the public, then we'll never know where the other person is coming from. So another idea is, what was your intent when you, and that one you definitely got to make sure that you, you know, are very conscious of your paraverbal and nonverbals, instead of, you know, what was your intent? Let me tell you how this affected me, and again, you want to be careful of those paraverbals and nonverbals. Let me share with you my intent when I, what else was going on for you that influenced the effect my action had on you? So what other circumstances was there? Right? I mean, we see quite often that, you know, someone at a church will come in at night and all of a sudden flip out on the people around them. And when we get called in different situations like that, it's like, well, take me through your day that day. Well, that day I, you know, slipped on ice chasing my son and broke my collarbone, and right? So I mean, there's a whole level of you know, different things that people went through, and if we don't really explore that, if we don't understand where they're coming from, that can just really lead to a kind of a recipe for disaster. So what we're going to do is go through this role play. Actually, if I could. And how we're going to do this is there seems to be roughly 4 or 5 people at each table or so. So if you want to break into groups of 3, we're going to, or somewhere around 3. What we're going to do is we're going to have one person that's going to be Jax, and one person that's going to be Tara, and then we're going to have one observer. Okay? So the observer is there to help you kind of guide your way through the conversation, to help you keep focused on intent and effect and exploring that. Jax and Tara, your jobs are to be Jax and Tara and to really keep in mind your own conflict style and kind of role play it out of your specific conflict style if you feel that is beneficial for you. And also try and keep in mind the other person's conflict style as well, of how they're reacting to things, because how they're reacting to different things will kind of depend on what kind of route you take in terms of the intent or the effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of walk around as we're doing this as well, and I'll actually keep it up on this slide so that you can have some different things to work from, okay? But try really hard to speak out of intent and speak out of effect, okay? So I'm going to read through this. Jax and Tara have attended the same church for many years. They aren't close, but occasionally chat after church during coffee fellowship and are often in the nursery together. Recently, Jax has received a paid position in the church as the outreach coordinator and is excited to shake up the way the church has been doing outreach in their community. The first item to be changed is the congregational barbecue. It's just dawning on me now that I don't know if this actually happened in Maranatha or not. This might be a very
different names. They were different names.
Yeah. I just know when I was working as an outreach coordinator in Faith, this is one of the things that happened to me. So the first item to be changed is the congregational barbecue. So for as long as the church has been around, every year in May, the church rents a pavilion at the local park, grabs some hot dogs, some hamburgers, and prepares a feast for all its members. It's a fun time of connecting and relationship building for the church. Jax, however, has a different idea. Instead of doing the congregational barbecue, why don't they do a neighborhood barbecue instead? They'll hold it at the church, they'll invite the whole neighborhood. Just think of the impact it could have on their surrounding neighbors, so Jax starts planning. After the announcement is made in church, Jax hears a rumor that Tara is upset with him. For as long as Jax remembers, Tara's been responsible for providing the food and salads for the congregational barbecue, and it sounds like Tara's quite upset that Jax didn't even think to inform her of the change of plans. So Jax decides to talk to Tara in this situation. Okay? So if you're Jax, you're approaching Tara to have this conversation about why she's so upset, her or him, are so upset with you. All right? So it's fairly, I tried to make a situation that wasn't too overly in your face, but still in your face enough that you'd be a little bit scared to actually go up and talk to this person, especially if you're a tiger or a turtle. If you're a shark, the sharks are like, yeah, I got this. So, if you want to break into groups of 3, and one person will play Jax, and one person will play Tara. And we're just going to do it just for about 5 minutes or so, okay? And so one of you will be Jax, one of you will be Tara, one of you will be an observer. The observer, your job is to try and make sure people stay on track with speaking out of intent, right? So how are you going to approach this situation as Jax to speak out of your intent of why you wanted it to be a neighborhood kind of barbecue as opposed to a congregational barbecue? And what was your intent behind that? And for Tara, what was the effect on that it had on you, and how are you going to kind of portray that effect to Jax? Clear as mud?